In the spring of 1979, it sort of doubled up the problems on the Thai government with all these very large numbers of people coming in, illegal aliens, and essentially starving. It looked like people, coming right out of Auschwitz. What are they going to do with them? Skin and bones, many of them, and many died on the way.
By the time my father made it to the border, the Thai government had agreed to allow some survivors to be brought into makeshift border camps.
We escaped that day with thousands of people that poured into the border. And I remember before they put us in the camp, they bring the trucks to the border and have us get on the trucks. And the truck drove through the city of Uraanbaatar. And it's the first time that we saw electricity. And we are so happy. We all threw our fists up to the air. It's freedom, it's freedom, it's freedom.
And we couldn't believe our luck. Our spirit was high, we were hopeful. I mean, we have been cut off from the world for 4.5 years.
So we make it to the refugee camp, surrounded with a barbed wire. But one of the best times that I had with my family, we feel that we're not being killed or starving again. And every day we enjoy every moment at the refugee camp there. We play music, we talk to friends, we talk about the past and about the new future.
By June of 1979, the Thai government became impatient with the pace of Western action and threatened to force refugees back into Cambodia.
As the population along the border grew, the Thai became increasingly apprehensive.
None of us could get round the fact that this was becoming a very inconvenient problem for our political masters. It was, showing no signs of abating, the numbers amassing on the border in the border camps.
Very rapidly, when it became evident that this was going to be a major humanitarian disaster, that people came forward and mobilized very quickly, but it was not a pretty sight.
There was resettlement going on. Buses would come, people would leave, but even then you weren't sure they'd be processed. You didn't know where they would go or what would become of them. And for most of the people, they didn't know if they were going to get resettled. They lived with constant anxiety over this. And we also didn't know. And in fact, we were being told that everybody was going to be pushed back to Cambodia, any day now.
We were out there constantly, trying to identify those closest to the U.S. and send them off to other camps away from the border.
My father's happy interlude in the border camp were short-lived. One day, rescue workers arrived with buses and began calling out names.
Some Muslim Cham people came down to say goodbye to us. Then we were celebrating with them by saying the Buddhist expression, "Let it be." May they reach their destination with happiness. Then after that, they departed with the buses, one after another. We were thinking, oh, When will be our turn to leave?
June 12 or 13, early in the morning, I remember, the bus arrived at the alongside the refugee camp. And the Western people came with a microphone on their head, and they call people by name to get on the buses.
The scene was just tension-filled from the time we arrived that morning.
And they keep calling, and then more and more people get on the bus.
Refugees were surging towards the front of this enclosure.
And I keep waiting for my name being called.
And we would try to call out the names, but it was very chaotic. We only had about 3 hours to do this. By midday, we were told we had to finish. And in fact, several times the Thai would say, "You're done." We'd say, "No, we just need a few more minutes."
The Thai soldier came down and shut them down and pushed them out of the refugee camp, not allow them to call the name anymore, and they closed the gate.
After permitting the relief workers to relocate just a few thousand refugees, Thai soldiers cut off the rescue and forced a desperate mob, my father among them, back into the camp.
The next day, we heard a rumor that those people being forced back to the border.
After just one day, they came to us. The Thai soldiers came with the bus and said that we can go to a third country now.
And they told us, "You're going to Bangkok, to a refugee camp in Bangkok." So there's this mixed feeling of fear and happiness. We don't know.
We knew something was going on. All these buses were carrying refugees away from the camps somewhere. We didn't know where.
We told them that if you send us back, we're going to be get killed by the Khmer rules. We just ran to the corner, cry and beg them not to send us back. About 2,000 of us, children, we are human chained to each other, that we refuse to get on the bus. We won't get on the bus, doesn't matter what. Even if they kill us, we're going to be dying here. We grabbed the little baby and the children on the mother's arm and threw them on the buses. So when your children that are on the buses, the parents automatically get on the buses. And they kicked us, they beat us up. We have no choice that we get on the buses. I saw some people that they put their hand up to here that you're being killed, you know. And I saw a couple Westerners, and they are crying. They try to help us, but they no way to get to help us. We was terrified inside the bus because we don't know where they're taking us. And we still have hope that they might be tell us the truth, that they transfer us to a different camp. The bus drove us 14 hours that night until early in the morning.
What happened was they had about several tens of thousands of refugees scattered in various camps along the Cambodian-Thai border. And the Thai government, for some reason, decided that it was going to push these people back to Cambodia. They were tired of them, whatever. They gathered together about 42,000 of them, took them to this temple on top of a mountain on the border called Pravahar, and pushed them down the cliff.
And when we got there, we don't know where we are. And they forced us out from the bus at gunpoint, and they told us where to go. And we found out that we are on top of the mountain called Pravihir Mountain.
Almost 4 decades later, I accompany my father and my uncle to visit what remains at the site of the Pravihir massacre.
It's very difficult to walk through here. We follow the track that everybody went. On the top of the mountain, the Thai soldiers told us that whatever we have, water, money, gold, water boat, just give it to them. And they say you're not gonna need it down there. Just drop it in the bucket and give it to them. As you can see, the cliff is so steep down. And they keep gunning us down. We have no way to get down. We have to hold the wire to lower ourselves down, clip by clip.
When we helped the old people, they fell down and crashed into the branches. In agony, they dropped all the things they carried with them, and they abandoned a lot of their belongings there. That night, every 5 minutes, we heard boom, and everyone was crying. People appeared with blood all over their body, some of their eyeballs falling out. Broken skulls, screaming, looking for their mother and father.
You know, I lived through the Khmer Rouge. I thought that was bad. But that night was the worst night of my life. Tuk, 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 tuk. And I hear the bullet go through my ear like right behind from my ears. And I saw a little girl in front of me. The bullet hit her head and she collapsed. I hold on to my mom's hand, and my thought was, at least we die together as a family. They want us to walk on those landmines, and then very few survive, and it would make a good lesson that we will never come back to Thailand. They want to kill as many refugees as they can. So walking 40,000 refugees through the deepest mountain with no water and with gun behind us, that's one way to kill people. And they don't have to open fire because the landmine will do the job.
The brush is so thick. We heard the planes, the sound of planes flying through. We thought someone come to help us. 43,000 refugees cry out for help. But no one come for us.
The border soldiers call it Ghost Mountain because they hear the cries of children at night. The soldiers say that there are lots of bodies down in that area where they can't bring us.
And the landmine is still there. That's why we can't get in there.
So we've been finding more and more of this stuff in the ground here. The clothes, the plates that we just saw, and then they pick up a few bones here and there.
This is a bone that one of the refugees died here.
There's no road going down. We throw our clothes first and then hold on to the vines. We're afraid to sleep at night, anywhere except on the tracks we're walking on. My in-law told us not to go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. If you move, a mine will explode. You poop there, you cook there, you sleep there. Everyone was falling. All of us fell to the ground. And then in a moment, I gained my consciousness. I saw blood on my hands. All here was broken, my right and my left.
This might be a blanket here. For the UN to give it to us. And sometimes they use that to cover the body because the body is always.
Yeah, they wrap the body.
They wrap the body and just let it sit and rot it. Yeah.
When my wife and daughter died, I couldn't take the bodies with us because I was injured. I couldn't walk. My arm was hit by a landmine. My nephew carried me, put me on a rice bag hammock, carried me, and took a month with no food. At the place where my wife was struck by landmines, 14 people died.
The strong men that carried rice and carried supplies ran to seek water to cook rice and other things. Then the landmines exploded. And when it exploded, they all died. And the people that didn't have food ran to grab the bloody rice off of the dead bodies, just to have something to eat. They had to wash the blood off the rice and cook it.
Thousands of refugees passed through here. 13,000 lost their life.